1, and we're live. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you all so very much for being here, hanging out with little old me. Thank you all for taking time out of your day. Thank you, anybody that's watching the replay. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch the replay. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. You guys know the drill. What is going on? What a game, to put it lightly. That was rough. That was a very embarrassing game to me. Not really any positives to take out of that. I try to take some positives, but just from the Russ injury to everything else, it's rough. It was a rough game, but like I always say, don't get too high on the highs, don't get too low on the lows. Tuesday is right around the corner. We will see what happens on Tuesday. We will see what the results are. We will see if we're competitive, or if we get blown out or whatever. I like I said, at the end of the day, I want to see what can we do in the regular season. What are going to be our lineups? I know a lot of people are upset Darvin Ham didn't, have a structured lineup, things like that. But preseason is the time to work on stuff. Preseason is the time to take your chances, take your risks. I'd rather him work on stuff now than come the regular season, and now he's trying to figure out. We saw that with Frank Vogel last year, right? Every night it was a different lineup. Every night it was a different, group of guys, stuff like that. This was a rough game. Defense wasn't there. Morale wasn't there. Energy wasn't there. This was just a bad game. This was just a really bad game. Giving up 133 points is not what you want to see. It's not good. It's not something that is a positive there. Russ's injury, hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully it's nothing of concern. Hopefully he can be back. I was really excited to see what he could do on the bench, coming off and being the sixth man. If he embraces that sixth man role, I really think he could be a lot more effective than he already has. But in general, this was a tough game to watch, tough game to look through. Exactly. Pain. I'm with you. This was a pain game for sure. This is not a pleasant game at all. Coach Ham failed with his lineup instead of Reeves, Nunn, Walker, LeBron, Toscano, and Jones, but Jones and Bryant, RC, not enough centers for the Lakers. Well, we didn't have Walker. Walker didn't play today. Reeves, look, like I said, the point of preseason is to test stuff, test lineups, see what works, see what doesn't, see what guys are worthy of rotation, which guys aren't. I don't mind him trying different lineups. I don't mind him trying different things, being creative, seeing what things work and what don't. That's what this is for. But across the board, there was no just energy, no drive. This was a very lackluster game. If this is anything that we can expect this season, then it's going to be a very long, rough season. But I don't think it is. I think it's a game. It's a preseason game. They want to just get into the season like everyone else. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I always say, let's look at a couple sample sizes and see where it goes. Hope they can find a trade. Our big center, not enough, not aggressive. We don't need them to be crazy aggressive in preseason. We need them to be aggressive in the regular season. So much pain, smiling through it all. I feel it. Got to smile. I'm with you, Snorlax. It was rough. Terrible performance by the Lakers. What happened to competing? LA Sports. I'm with you. This was tough. This was tough. This was really rough. Told you your videos wouldn't age well. Would it? It's a preseason game. God, some people are hilarious. Was it a bad game? Absolutely. Was this not what you want to see? Absolutely. But we still haven't played a regular. Guess how many games the Lakers have lost so far? None. They're still undefeated, just like everyone else. Let's see what the first handful of games look like in the regular season. We got a very tough opening to our season. We're gonna know a lot pretty quickly. We got the Warriors and the Clippers back to back, and then we got Portland, which is a game we should win, and then we got we got Denver and the Timberwolves, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. Those are our first 5 games. We could easily go 1-4 in that series, or we could end up going 4-1 or 3-2, something like that. But regardless, I need to see us come out. I need to see us compete. Even if we lose, I need to see them working towards something. I need to see positives. I need to see, like, so opening night, if we lose against the Warriors, like I don't mind the loss. It's just, what kind of loss was it? How badly did we lose? What was the overall scope? Things like that. It just depends on how it is. Coach Ham, terrible lineup. He didn't know how to operates the players. Again, it's preseason. Now's the time to test lineups. Better him doing this now than in the regular season. He's trying to see what guys work well together, what guys, are play well together, what guys look good. How should we tinker with this and that, Like, it's not a big deal. It's fine. Told you this guy best wishes we use those picks now. No, we're fine. No positive at all. Gave up 133 points to the Kings out of all teams. The Kings went undefeated in preseason last year. They're undefeated in preseason this year. It's not, look, 133 points, 133 points. That's not good. Defensively, we just didn't show up. But, whether it's the Kings or the Warriors or whoever, look, that's unacceptable. We can't be putting up 100. We can't be allowing 133 points and putting up 86 points, even in a preseason game. This was just a bad game. Just keeps trying to convince people also, but right, because we're still, how many games have the Lakers lost in the regular season so far? No shooters, no defense. Yeah, this was rough. Hi, I'm going to be quite honest, and don't call me a hater. Hey, go for it. This was a rough game. This was rough. What a disaster. The team needs a complete overhaul, man. They don't need a complete overhaul. Let's not panic over this game. Was it bad? Absolutely. This was terrible, but it'll be okay. And you had the nerve to say the roster is better than the 2020 championship. They still could be. Chemistry is a big thing. We didn't have Anthony Davis. We didn't have Russ. We didn't have Schroeder. We didn't have Brown. The team didn't show up. They didn't do anything. Like, relax. I'm not going to stress over that. Can we play a couple regular season games before we Chicken Little this season? Like, relax. This team can't win a spot in the play-ins. This team will definitely be in the playoffs. How are you still blaming Russ? Russ didn't even play the game, and people are still blaming Russ. That's hilarious. It's beginning to look a lot like last year. Nah, we're fine. This is a much better team than last year. Appreciate your work and commitment. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Working hard. Gotta stay on top of it, right? Growing the channel, all of that stuff. I love it. I don't know if they have chemistry. It's been 5 preseason games. Or 6 preseason games. It'll be okay. Well, time for Rob to pull the trigger on the Pacers deal. Nah, I'm not overreacting too much to this game, but it was hard to watch. This was definitely a hard game to watch. Definitely a hard game to watch. But I do think we need to remain patient. Let's see a couple games. Make this clear. All the drama got to these guys. This is clearly a locker room issue. They're a lot better than this display team. I don't know what locker room issue there would have been, because the Russ thing was complete fake news. That was just fake news, literally. And I don't know what would be going on with the locker room. There hasn't been any reports of anything, so I don't know. I just think that they just didn't show up. It was just a bad game. Who cares? Preseason, I never gave up about it, but the Russ thing, that's real. Possibly. Last preseason game isn't the game for trying new lineups. Combinations should be the last chance to fine-tune your rotation in their offense, defense schemes. Yeah, but the difference is, we didn't have Davis. We didn't have Schroeder. We got guys that are hurt. So why not? Why not test and tinker? Why not try to work on stuff? The Wolves and the Kings can shoot. We can't. I don't know how good they shoot. Effort looking really bad. It'll be interesting to see what happens first 2 games that count. Yeah, effort was rough. If this is the effort we get for the season, it's not promising at all. This is going to be a very long season if this ends up happening. But I'm hoping that it's just hey, we just want to get to the regular season already, and that's what matters. It doesn't matter if it's preseason. This is the Keen we're talking about. It does matter if it's preseason. Russell Westbrook has been so healthy and durable, and the one game he has to come off the bench, he gets a phantom hamstring. Do you think that's a coincidence? Yeah, I think he pulled a hamstring. It looked like he did. The way he stopped and everything like that. Yeah, I think he's hurt. We'll find out more tomorrow. want to just assume stuff. And even if he like, what does he benefit from? What? Because he gets a hamstring? Because he fakes a pulled hamstring, they're going to start him now? Like, nah. I mean, there's no benefit to him doing that at all. Okay, no one that knows basketball don't care about but yeah, it's gonna get real soon. Hey, we're gonna find out in what 4 days? Literally, we're gonna find out in 4 days. There's no one on this team outside of Brown and AD who should start over Russ. I agree. Russ is the star. Russ is gonna be the starter. We already know a lot. No defense, no size, no shooting. Hey, defense looked good the first 3 games, but we'll see. We'll see. We need to get off that cancer, which is Russ. I mean, there's nothing out there right now. Anyone think Russ faked this hamstring injury to get out of the game? He was taking hard, but what does he gain? Like, what is the point? Like, what is there? Like, what is there to gain from that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like why? Like, if anything, it hurts him more than it helps him. Because like, what happens? What happens if he doesn't start next game? And because they're like, oh, well, we want to see after. Like, there's literally no benefit to him doing that. Russ doesn't fake injuries. You people are nuts. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that makes no sense to me. Every game becomes a real deal soon. Absolutely. Young, spry kids on opposing teams are salivating. Look, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm not going to get too high on the highs. I'm not going to get too low on the lows. You never know what's going to happen. You never know how the game went. If the Lakers beat the Warriors, all the same people that are saying the sky is falling and this, that, and the other are all going to be rooting and talking about how this is our year and we're so great and all that stuff and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just, I don't understand it. Kings have a lot of talent, though. They got scores. Dude, I literally made a video on As It Stands, the mother channel, the one that started it all. I made a video talking about how good the Kings could be this year. Like, I don't think they're a contender or anything, but they're really good. And they're going to be they're really young. They're really talented. They're on a mission this year. I wouldn't be shocked if they like snuck into the playoffs or something. Like, especially if they get into the play-in. If you get to play-in, you only got to win 2 games. You never know. Russ don't want to play in-laws. That's just a fact. In-laws don't want him. Yes, but they're stuck with him for now. We'll see. We'll see what develops. Everyone getting injured on the Lakers. I wonder how much it really is. I mean, Anthony Davis thing, I think, is just more so precaution. Why run the risk of him like actually getting hurt? Let him rest. Let him see. Let him kind of just get to 100% by the regular season. Schroeder, hurt his finger, broke his finger or something. They're worried about him long term. It's rough. It's rough. It's preseason. Although people love to overreact. Yeah, that's my point. Like, let's see. Russ faked a bad back to sit out when he got benched last year. He didn't fake back. They sat him on purpose. Shouldn't we be playing man defense until we develop chemistry? I mean, you want to establish an identity. You want to establish, what you're looking for defensively, even without chemistry, and then kind of grow into that. You don't want. Last thing you want to do is like, you guys start building chemistry, and now you're trying to figure out your defensive identity. You're trying to now figure out your defensive schemes. It's usually not pretty. It's not a good way to go about it. Westbrook fake injury. I think don't want to come off the bench. That's why his reason he's tired. If fans look tired of him, I like I said, there's no reason at all for him to fake an injury. Come on, man. Coach M don't understand this coaching thing. What? He got a lot to learn. We just don't have a team right now. The Bus family playing. Get a trade now. Simple. Darvin Ham hasn't coached a regular season game. It's preseason. He's making lineups. People were questioning his lineups and rotations and stuff in the first 3 games. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. What's wrong with you? I don't know. All Westbrook's fault. Oh, people are so funny. Mike Brown has spanked us twice. He's spanked everyone. They're undefeated. They haven't lost a game in the preseason, just like last year. What else we got? Like button hit Thank you so much, Most. I really appreciate that. And yes, everybody, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you all subscribing. If you're not subscribed, liking this video if you haven't liked, all of that stuff. I really appreciate it. It takes 2 seconds, it's free, and I'm very thankful. Bro, the Lakers got a curse when it comes to injuries. I mean, that's rough. It's rough right now. Um, I'm hoping it's nothing really major. I'm hoping it's really nothing major. Punch that like button and subscribe button if you haven't already, y'all. Thank you. I really do appreciate all of you, all of your support, all of your love. It's awesome. You guys are great. What else? Everyone was looking for that Nets implosion. They played really well today. Looks like Lakers are imploding with the Russ injury. Will be even harder to trade him. No, well, look, you got to understand, and this is something that I should probably do like a video on this specifically. I've mentioned it in videos before, but look, nobody is trading Russ for Russ. Like Russ could break his leg and be out for the entirety of the season, and teams will still trade for him. Teams aren't trading for him because of Russell Westbrook. Teams are trading for him because they get to unload salary, recoup assets, and get his contract. That's all the teams that want to trade for Russ. None of them wanted Russ. It was all about just unloading guys, clearing roster spots, things like that, and that'll continue to be the thing. And Russ is only going to get more valuable as the year goes on, because the more time goes on, the less another team has to pay for Russ and to buy him out and stuff like that. So, let's see. He's faking it. Do people they make these? I don't know. I don't understand that. Real game starts Tuesday. Lakers vs Warriors. As a meaningless in terms of record. Exactly, Jeff Green. I don't care about this. I care about what is going to happen what's going to happen on Tuesday. How are we going to look our first 5 games? Because we got a tough opening stretch. The only team that we for certain should beat are the Portland Trail Blazers. Other than that, the other teams are really good, and we got to win most of those games. We got to beat Portland, and then we got to win at least 2 or 3 of those other 4. I'd like over the first game stretch, ideally, if we could be 4-1, that would be just chef kiss. But if I had to guess, I'd say we're probably going to be like 3-2. I still think we beat the Warriors on opening night. And then I think the Clippers game will be interesting. And then I think we beat the Blazers, so that would make us 2-1 at the worst. And then I think we lose to one and we beat the other between Denver and Minnesota. So I think if we beat the Clippers and the Warriors, I think we'll start 4-1. I do. If Russ can handle the bench unit and play defense, I think it could work, but not 40 million. Kuzma was better, and I'd rather have somebody else. Look, I get it. But look, the Lakers don't care about his contract. The Lakers care about what production could he give and what's the best way to capitalize on him. They have his contract regardless. Whether he's making 5 million or he's making 100 million. It's the same result. What else? It's not about Russ, the GM and Genie bus. Just don't make the right moves for the Lakers to win Magic. Now, what's going on? And he hates this. I mean, what moves were they supposed to do? What were the right moves? We got every single player we could have gotten in free agency. Like, if you go look at all the free agents this year, we got all of them. Like, all of them. Except, like, the only player that we could have maybe gotten that we didn't was, like, Otto Porter Jr., but like he went to Toronto specifically for his wife. Like he literally said, "I'm going to Toronto I went to Toronto because of my wife." So outside of that, like what were we supposed to do? The Utah deal turned out to be trash, and they were just trying to fleece us. And then the Pacers deal isn't worth it. So what big move or right move are they supposed to make? The right move was to stand pat, which they have. Russ not doing nothing game. Somebody didn't watch the game. Swider and the other guy, Ryan, I think is his name. Both are great shooters at practice and summer league games, but none of them are NBA talent. Sorry, but no. Yeah, which is what I've been saying. Like, like I did the live stream, everyone was like, Ryan's the truth. Sign Ryan right now. And like I said, you gotta let's see a couple more games and see what he does. And he hasn't done anything since. Hit that like, fools. That's right. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. The Lakers' pace of play and scoring potentially are negative impacts by moving Russ out of the starting unit. We don't have the personnel to be in the half court team. Yeah, I agree with that. At least unless LeBron wants to take over play style duties, but exactly, Russ won't play. Nobody's trading for him to take over the team. Jarvin M says Russell Westbrook told him he thinks he'll be fine, but the point guard will be evaluated in the morning. Yeah, we won't know anything till tomorrow. Hopefully, it's nothing major. Hopefully, it's just like a little tweak or something. I've been saying by All Star, Russ will have the best contract in the league. Yeah, he will, absolutely. Russ will. Like I said, Russ's value is only going to go up as time goes on. Especially with Victor Wembanyama, like so many teams are going to be doing everything they can to try to go get that. By like the trade deadline, the Lakers might have like more options than they know what to do with. And not just the Lakers, but a lot of teams. There are going to be a lot of teams this year that I think are going to get some like fleece level deals that wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. And hopefully the Lakers can get in on some of those. Westbrook is done as a starting point guard. No NBA team wants a starting point guard who cannot shoot in the league, average percentage for 3-pointers and free throws, and has no reliable jump shot. There are lots of teams. The Wizards would take him back in a heartbeat. The Wizards don't even have a point guard. So a lot of teams would. And people forget, Russ was a 22-point triple-double for them. What else? Our lineups was sorry. Really hope DM don't run 80 at the 4 and 3 small guards. We need Nunn and Lonnie to start when Dennis Reeves bench lineup. Yeah, I for game 1, I don't know this, but if I had to guess, I think our starting lineup will be something along the lines of like probably Nunn, Walker. Unless if Russ is healthy, then I think it'll be Russ. But let's assume Russ isn't. Let's say he needs a game or two. Then I think it would be Kendrick Nunn, probably. I don't know this for sure, but Kendrick Nunn, probably Lonnie Walker, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and maybe Thomas Bryant would probably be my guess. And they have a pretty good structure there. You got shooting, you got playmaking, you got defense, you got a little bit of everything. So I like that. We have enough guards to lower Westbrook's minutes, which is a good thing. Yeah, I think it just depends on how Russ is doing. Game in and game out. I think it just depends on that. Hey, brother, I'm really digging your answering so many questions and great answers. Great chat. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Seriously. Look, I really enjoy these conversations, good or bad, whether we agree, whether we disagree, however we feel about it. I do. That's why I do these live streams to connect with my subscribers and my audience and stuff like that, because you don't get a real feel for who I am for videos, and I don't do a ton of videos like with my face and stuff to where we can really connect, things like that, just because I feel like most of the stuff that I talk about, like, it's better to have visuals rather than just me like, hey, I do want to start testing some videos with just me and see how they do, obviously grow the channel and stuff like that way, and people are more connectable. But I do these live streams because I love the conversations. I love just talking Lakers basketball and basketball in general. Again, whether we agree, disagree, it's beauty. The beauty of it is just being able to be in the same place and talk sports. Pat Bev should only be on the floor in spurts. He gives you none on offense and little playmaking. Him and Russ, I have no idea what to do with. Pat Bev has been rough, but I don't know. I want to see how they do regular season. Like, I want to see how games are. Pat Bev. I'm surprised even Pat Bev doesn't seem to have a ton of energy. He just seems really lackluster too, and I don't know if it's just vibe or what. I don't know what it is, but we'll see. Russ doesn't fit. The Lakers went from number 23 in scoring to number 11 in scoring. People need to quit this nonsense. The team was 11-10 when all three played. The team was 7-2 in OT games. Yeah, look, Russ and them can't work. It's just when can they stay healthy? Look, if everybody was healthy last season, we would have made the playoffs. We would have. Who knows what would happen once we got into the playoffs? Like no team was like world beaters last year. Like everyone was very beatable last year. It's just injuries really killed us. Really did. Guys, if you feel sad about tonight's debacle, go watch any Kobe Bryant video. That'll make you feel better. Absolutely, can never go wrong with a good Kobe Bryant video. We have no center, no wing, no shooters. We are not a championship team. It's going to be a long season for us. If we can get Crowder and Cousins, we'd be better. There's a reason Cousins. Nobody wants Cousins. Nobody's got nothing. It's just Cousins is not the answer. We do have centers, and we always have Anthony Davis for when it matters, which is the ultimate center. Crowder isn't coming to Lakers. As much as I would love to have Crowder, he's not coming to Lakers. Crowder's going. If Crowder gets bought out, he's going to end up going to Miami because that's where he wants to go. But Lakers got beat by 51. Yeah, this was a rough game. This is a rough game. We have a center. His name is Anthony Davis. Yes, that's correct. That's what I'm saying. Like we're fine. We have center. The only thing that like we really could use is like a big wing player. And Monday we should really see guys starting to get bought out. So maybe there's there'll be like like a Rudy Gay or something that maybe we could pick up on the cheap. Take a flyer on that, I think is a possibility. But we could really use some wing defense. We could really use a guy that could just guard bigger guys like the Kawhi Leonard's, Paul George's, Kevin Durant's, guys like that. We could really do that. But yeah, other than that, we have centers. We'll be fine at center. We got power forwards. We got everything else. Our guard play is fine. We got a little bit of everything. Just could, like I said, really could use some wing size. Would be nice. But hey, you get what you get. It's not like there's a lineup of wing players that are already there. Don't know what this Lakers team is going to look like. I don't either. I mean, look, from day one, my whole mantra has been like, can we just wait and see? Like, and that's still how I feel. Like, let's wait and see. Like, let's play a handful of, or a couple handfuls of regular season games before we come to a conclusion. Like, I think that, people are taking a preseason game and acting like we just got blown out in game 7 of the finals. Like, it's just like, let's see. Like, this is the time where you're testing stuff and you're trying different lineups and you're seeing who's good and who fits and who does it, things like that. Like, I'm not worried about us losing the game. Like, would I have liked to see a more competitive game? Of course. But, was this a bad game? Of course. But I'm not like, even if the Lakers won by 50, I still wouldn't have been like, oh, Lakers are a contender. Lakers are like, no, I'd still be like, wait, see, go look at the live streams where I talked about how good the Lakers were. I say the same thing every time. Can't get too high on the highs, can't get too low on the lows. It's preseason. This is going to happen. Go look at all, like the Bucks haven't won a preseason game. Are the Bucks a play-in team? Are the Bucks terrible? Are the, what I mean? Like, usually the teams that go undefeated in preseason are usually the bad teams. Like, go look at all of the preseason records. Like, all the teams that are like 4-1 or 5-0 or whatever, most of them are like the Kings, the Thunder, the teams like that are usually the teams that win a majority of the preseason game. Our 2021 team was so good, man. Yeah, I really think we were Anthony Davis injury away from going back to back. I really do. I really think we could have gotten that. I think if LeBron would have gotten to the finals again, I think we would have seen LeBron take over. I know Milwaukee would have been tough, don't get me wrong, but I really think that AD playing at a high level, LeBron James playing like LeBron James, I think he would have pushed it. If LeBron and I really believe this, if the Lakers are somehow able to get to the Western Conference Finals, not saying they will, for everybody that's like, there's no way, like, relax. I'm not saying they will. But if for whatever reason, if the Lakers get to the Western Conference Finals, I'm pretty confident that the Lakers get to the NBA Finals because I think LeBron has like one more big run in him. I really do. At least one more big run. And I think if they get to the Western Conference Finals, LeBron's going to look at it as like, I just need to win 8 games. I need to win 8 games. This is what I've put a million plus into my body for. I'm going to bring out vintage LeBron for 8 games. I really do. I think if this team gives LeBron a chance, I actually think LeBron can bring us to the promised land again. I really do. Granted, we'd have to get there, but never know. Crowder, yes. Cousins, no. Yeah, look, I would love Crowder. I'm with you on no Cousins, but I don't think Crowder's coming to the Lakers. If he gets bought out, he's already said he wants to go to Miami. We got 4 centers in all reality. Agreed. We do. Crowder and Braun have already played together, and I don't believe Braun would sign off on Crowder. Brandon, I don't think so either. I agree. It's too early. We need some actual games to gauge. Exactly. We do. We got to, like I said, we have a tough test. The first 5 games, I don't think will tell us everything, but I think it will tell us a fair amount. If we go 0-5 to start the season, then we know, like, okay, something needs to change. And I could see Rob saying, like, all right, we gotta make a move here. But if we go like 4-1 or 3-2, I think that's a good sign. I think that's really positive. I still think we beat the Warriors opening night. I really do. And it's not even just like the Lakers better or anything like that, even though I do think the Lakers match up against the Warriors really well. I mean, if you just look at just statistically speaking, teams that on the rain night at home lose like 90% of the time. Between tomorrow and Monday, Lakers need to find a forward. They are too small without shooting and unable to rebound. Don't even try to box out. Look, a lot of that I equate to preseason. I really do. You see it with all teams. Like when you watch games, like guys don't box out like they should. Guys don't fight for rebounds like they should. Because again, everybody's just trying to get to the regular season. Like no one's trying to get hurt. If a guy's got position on you, you usually don't fight over that. You usually just let him get the rebound, things like that. I'm like I said, I'm not concerned with that. I look, could we use a big forward? Yes, but there's not really anything out there, at least currently. But kicker Braun overreacted to Suns' loss, and so did Rob Pelinka. Yeah. Come on, man. We talking about the Lakers. Even if had win tonight, it would have been the same convo. We need a trade, plain and simple. Even if they won tonight, I would have said the same thing. We're fine. Like let's wait and see. We had competent depth at every position and the number 1 defense. Yes, we did. We did have. We were nice. Crowder had bad attitude issues. He's a locker room cancer. Yeah, Crowder has been known for that, for being just a pain in the behind. Rebounding will be fine if Braun and AD sacrifice and play 5-4. Now they will easily average 50 with 20 rebounds. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. Lakers suck. Dodgers are bad, and no excuses. They just are. Dude, Dodgers. I had the Laker game on one TV and then the Dodger game on another TV, and that sucked. I was not happy about that at all. It was rough. That was rough. Dodgers really disappointed. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. hopefully we can bounce back on that. But whoops, there we go. Sorry, accidentally hit my thing. Things were going so well in 2020-21. Those injuries to AD and Brown were devastating. Agreed. Like I said, I really think we were a healthy Anthony Davis away from getting back to the finals, and I think we had a good chance of winning it. I really do. I think we would have matched up well against the Bucks that year, and I think we would have had a real shot to win it. I really do. But oh yeah, Buddy Hield and Miles Turner finally had good games. I just got a notification about them that Buddy Hield and Miles Turner finally had decent games because they've looked rough during the preseason. Rough. But I don't know. In general, it's just it is. I'm not worried about it. Does it suck? Would it have been nice to like get a win on our last preseason game? Sure. Would it have been nice to see a competitive game? Sure. But I'm more worried about just us staying healthy and our regular season. I completely agree. We should have repeated. Yeah, I really do think we did. I think we would have. I wish we kept that 2021 team. Do you think we had a decent chance to win the title last year if we kept that team? I actually do, especially last year, because last year was just like it was a rough year for all most teams, all teams. Like everyone was dealing with injuries and stuff like that. I think that 2021 team, like if we would have kept Schroeder and everybody, I think we would have had a good chance, a really good chance. But hindsight is always 2020, right? Like I was never really big on the Westbrook trade. Unfortunately, I didn't have a channel at that time, but I wasn't really big on the Westbrook trade. But I understand why they did it. I understand the thought process and thinking of it. I don't think you needed to go to that extreme, but nonetheless, it happened, and we're here, and we got the team that we got, and we're in the situation we're at. So all we can do is just see what the result is. I'm not really concerned in any way. Like, do I have concerns? Of course. Do I think that this team is going to be, lights out? Like I've always said, I don't think that they're a true contender, but I do think that could potentially be. Chemistry is going to be a big thing. What does our defense look like? Can we stay healthy? Stuff like that. Like if all of those things happen, then it wouldn't surprise me. Like I've said time and time again, if we get to the playoffs and we have a healthy LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I will take my chances. People act like LeBron James and Anthony Davis aren't LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And I've said this, and I really, truly believe this. If we had the team we have right now, and this offseason, we went and signed LeBron James and Anthony Davis, even if LeBron James and Anthony Davis had the same season they had last year. Let's say LeBron was on the Cavs and didn't make the playoffs, and Anthony Davis was on the Pelicans and he got hurt and only played 40 games. If this year we signed LeBron James and Anthony Davis, the entire world would be saying that the Lakers are bona fide contenders and they would be the favorites to win the championship this year because it's LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But the LeBron James and Anthony Davis honeymoon is over. And, we had a bad year last year, and people looking at that bad year last year and go, oh, they sucked last year, they're going to suck this year. And I don't buy that. We got a new team, new coach, new atmosphere, new everything. It's a completely different situation. Like, let's see. But I guarantee you, if LeBron James and Anthony Davis came to this Laker team this year, the entire world would talk about how we are legit contenders, and this year the Lakers are going to win the championship. That's just what it would be. I think it depends. If we were repeat champs, I don't see the three-peat happening. Three-peats are just really hard to do in general. Like, really hard to do. Really hard. But, you never know. Like I said, granted, if we did go back-to-back, it would have been tough. But this year was pretty wide open. The only reason I thought the Warriors would win when we got to the playoffs was just because I was like, they're the only team that's been there and have consistency and are good enough to ride the highs and the lows. Like, other than that, I was like, any team that they face, I don't think is going to be able to beat them, because I was like, all the teams that could beat them aren't healthy and are missing guys, and all the teams that they are going to play are all young, and they're not going to have the experience to beat the Warriors. And so, when and that's exactly what happened. The Grizzlies, Mavericks, the Celtics, they all didn't have the experience. A lot of that's what that was. Great example. Boston should have went up 3-1, but the Warriors were just consistent and they won. So my point is that the Lakers, if they were healthy come playoff time, I think they would have had a good chance to three-peat because I think they would have had 2 years of coming back off of back-to-back championships. So they would have had the experience. They would have had the know-how. They would have had LeBron and Anthony Davis. And then, going up against the Grizzlies or whoever, I think experience trumps their youth. And then if we play the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, I think that team would have been good enough to beat these guys, to beat the Warriors. I do. The Warriors have never had an answer for Anthony Davis. Like people always, like I've literally had people be like, "Oh, Anthony Davis," because I did like a video or something where I was like, "Yeah, Anthony Davis." Like the Warriors have no answers for Anthony Davis, and I got like all these comments from people that were like, "The Warriors could stop Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis isn't good against the Warriors." And I was like, "Have you ever looked up his stats? Like, what are you going off of?" Like Anthony Davis has averaged like 25 a game against the Warriors, 24 a game against the Warriors with like 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. Like he eats the Warriors alive. The only game against the Warriors since he's been a Laker outside of the one that he got hurt and he only played like 10 minutes, all of those games, he's every game against the Warriors, he's averaged at least 20 points or more with double-digit assists. And the one game he didn't score 20, he put up 17 points, 17 rebounds, 3 assists, and like 3 blocks or something off the top of my head. But I do know it was 17. It's one of those things. Like, it's hilarious. Three-peat is tough no matter how talented your team is. Agreed. Absolutely. You have to pay people. Championship role players usually want raises. Very good point. No organization is in a position to three-peat right now unless one of the really young teams become champions, like the Pelicans, Pistons, or Grizzlies. I agree. I want to detour for a minute. So Victor Wembanyama, right? He's the big game changer guy. What if OKC gets him? Like seriously, like because they're still very young. I don't think they're going to be very good. Does OKC, like if OKC is losing, right, and they're not very good, do they just trade Sean Gilgeous-Alexander just to say, hey, let's go try to get Victor? Because imagine OKC with Victor, Chet, all those young guys, all the assets and draft picks that they got. Like that could be the next like real dynasty. Like that could be a team that could get like several championships over several years. My only concern is Sam Presti like had that essentially and blew it up and made a mistake. But I would hope that Presti wouldn't make the same mistake twice. So if he kept that team together, they would be really good. They would be scary good. Like if everyone develops and stays healthy. I mean, imagine a front court of Chet and Victor. Like if Chet becomes half of the guy that they believe him to be, that he's supposed to be, like that versatility, like and all that, like that, they could be really scary in like 3 to 5 years. Like just a thought. Or even Detroit. Detroit's got really nice young talent. The problem is, I think, and it sucks, but I really think either he goes to like a dysfunctional organization that just falls apart, or he ends up that doesn't really know how to build, or I think he goes to the Spurs. I really do. Because I think one, it's Pop, and Pop loves those European players, right? He loves him, a French player, which Victor is. Like he would be perfect for Pop. Like that's Pop's like wet dream. Like literally, like that's Pop's like Pop goes to sleep every night and fantasizes about a player like Victor. I really think that San Antonio is good enough to take. I think if they aren't in last place with the best odds to get him, I think they sell the farm to try to go get him because I think Pop is going to really want him. And, it's the NBA, just saying, so I don't know. Just like I said, random thoughts. Brother, it's the Lakers, everyone, and their mama is going to hate. And yeah, three-peats are very hard to do. So two-peats, Kobe has 1 3-peat and 2-peat, almost 3 again. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, they are very hard to do. And look, yeah, I've always said Lakers, it's always big business, big money to hate on the Lakers. think of all like the media and stuff like Skip Bayless, guys like that. Like all they do is hate on the Lakers, and half the time they're not saying anything. They're just hating on the Lakers, hate on the Lakers because it gets people's attention. Because I have so for those that don't know, I have another channel called As It Stands, which was the first channel that I started. And then that channel kind of did well. It's kind of been rough since then. I had a video that like got 130,000 views or whatever, and it just like it was like my 10th video or something. That did really good. Kind of took off, and then I got like 5,000 subs, whatever, over there. But like I said, it's been rough, and the idea was to talk about like multiple sports, not just basketball. But anyway, the reason I mentioned that is because I was like, oh, I want to talk about the Lakers, but I don't want to just talk about the Lakers on this channel or on that channel. So I was like, let me start the Lakers channel, which I started this channel. And when I started this channel, like my girl was asking stuff, and I was like, in all honesty, I was like, I think my Lakers channel will end up being the biggest channel I have, which right now it is. It's the biggest channel I have. I mean, it's not the most subscribed channel I have, but as far as like viewership and analytic wise and stuff like that, it's the best channel I have. And the reason I thought that is because two things happen. Either A, you have the diehard Laker fans where all of them are just, talking Lakers and loving the Lakers and all that stuff, or you get the guys that are just trolling and talking shit because it's the Lakers. And if you look at all the comments, because I try my best to respond to every comment and stuff like that, all the comments are that. Every comment is either like, I love the Lakers, praise, the Lakers type comments, or they're just like, Lakers are the worst team in the world. And I was like, regardless, they're going to watch the videos. They're going to, leave comments. They're going to do all that stuff. They're going to subscribe because they want to continue to talk shit. And I was like, that channel's really going to grow. And here we are. So spot on. Yeah, that's kind of like the road to a Laker channel. Anyway, a little fun story. I mean, you should probably take into account the butterfly effect when talking about hypotheticals like this. Yeah, very excellent point. Right. Lakers make a bold move if they dream to be in the playoffs. Look, there's a lot of bad teams this year, and there's a lot of teams that are going to tank. The Lakers will make the playoffs. It's just, can they do anything after that? 2 and 3 peats only happen with the same team, minor tweaks. Yeah, usually just little minor things here. If OKC trades Shai, then they are all for lottery for getting Victor. Yeah, I think so too. That would be really interesting. Really interesting. They are going to trade Sean Gilgeous-Alexander away, and they are never going to be a dynasty because the owner's not going to keep talent together and pay the luxury. I agree, and that's why. Like, I kind of want to see it happen. I want to see what ends up happening. Like, would Sam Presti and the Thunder make the same mistake twice? Like, because the Thunder should have been a dynasty. Like, the Thunder should have been the Warriors before the Warriors. Like, for real. Like, they should have won at least 3 or 4 championships, at least. And they really fumbled that terribly. So I would love to do that, honestly. I really would. Presti is way too busy, continuously hoarding picks that he'll never use. Facts. Do you have any concerns about Darvin Ham? Nah, not at least not yet. Like I said, he hasn't even coached a real game yet. I'm not worried about preseason. Preseason is the time for you to test your lineups, do so. He comes from a good background, a good pedigree. He's an actual player, which, so he has that relationship, that connectability. He's won a championship as a player, all of those things. Presti, all picks and no chips. Yeah, facts. You're the fucking man, bro. I'm so picky, in all honesty. I can't stand a lot of people and the way they act. So you're winning me over here with this live. I appreciate it. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Look, one thing you'll get from me is real and honesty. Whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me, it's what it's all about. It's about conversation. It's about talking, about having fun. Dude, I'm not some insider. I'm some fucking guy on YouTube. I don't know another way to put it. Like, I'm just some dude that loves the Lakers, loves basketball, and likes talking it. So, that's why I'm here to just have fun. Obviously I want to, the goal is to grow this channel, one day do this for a living, be able to, support myself and my family and stuff like that. Like, of course, anybody that does YouTube so heavily, stuff like that, that's the goal. But it's also to have fun. Like, I genuinely enjoy this. Like, and if this is what I could do for a living for the rest of my life, then it's fucking heaven. So, yeah. Go Lakers, win or lose, but hopefully mostly win. Exactly. I'm with you. Hey, look, this is our team. regardless whether it's good year or bad year, I'm riding with him. I'm riding with him. You know, I try to stay as unbiased as possible. I try to stay as honest and focused as possible. But it's hard sometimes, because I am a Laker fan. And do I overly defend them sometimes? Sure, but it's like having a kid. Your kid's not gonna do no wrong. And if you think my kid did something wrong, it's your problem. It's one of those things. But just think Steph, Clay, Dre, and Looney are all still together on the same team, while KD, Harden, Russ, and Ibaka are all over the place. Exactly. Like imagine like if both of those like just traded championships every year for like the last 10 years, and just have watching those showdowns, those would have been incredible. Incredible. OKC traded Harden because the owner didn't want to pay the luxury tax. Yeah, exactly. And it was a stupid decision. Dumbest decision they ever made. Would you take Scary Terry back in a Westbrook deal? I would. I wouldn't mind it. I know it might seem a little redundant, but Scary Terry is basically another Kendrick Nunn, a guy who could get you, 20 a night if you need him to. But he's developed into a better off-ball player, which is really good because now he has LaMelo and stuff. So I think the good thing about having Scary Terry, Terry Rozier, is with him, you could always have either Kendrick Nunn or Terry Rozier on the court at all times. So you always have a guy on that can shoot the ball, play on the ball, play off the ball, and just go get a bucket if you need him to. And I think that would be really valuable. Could it be a little redundant? Sure. But you could even play them together if you wanted to. The big problem would be still like if you took on Scary Terry, you'd still have that log jam on guards. But I mean, it's not like there's a ton of stuff out there. I've said so. Like I did a video about it. Like if we could get like Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier, and like PJ Washington, I would do that trade today. Like I would do that trade immediately. Because I just think you'd get everything you want. And worst case, PJ Tucker becomes a valuable trade chip that you can move off of, especially if you can keep a pick or two or even two, because you're doing them a ton of favors. Like Gordon Hayward, I think, would be a perfect fit for the Lakers because he's a guy that you could run your offense through him. He could shoot. He can defend. He's not the greatest defender, but he's better than people give him credit for. But all in all, I think he would be fantastic. My concern is he can't stay healthy, and I don't want to pay him all that money and all that stuff, and he can't stay on the court. It could just be a really bad situation. So I just think it depends on what you got, what you can get back and what you can give up. But in the Hornets deal, you should, and theoretically you shouldn't have to give up any picks. I think the Lakers would give up something, but theoretically you don't have to give any picks. I've given you an opportunity to be the worst team in the league to go potentially get Victor. Even if the Lakers won a championship because of the Hornets trade, the Hornets, if they get Victor, can justify that and say, yeah, they won a championship, but we're probably going to win the next 10. Or in a couple years, so that I could see being a thing. But I think the Hornets trade, I think you get the wings that you need. You get a little bit of everything. But yeah, you're helping them tank. Not only helping them tank, you're taking off. You're basically wiping their books for them. So right there's two inherent value things. So like if anything, if we did give up a pick, it should be a heavily protected pick. I think ideally you give up like a pick swap, or you give up like a couple seconds. Like if the Lakers could do, like if the Hornets called the Lakers and were like, hey, we'll give you Kelly Oubre, Gordon Hayward, and Terry Rozier for no picks or like 2 seconds, I think the Lakers should do that. I really do. Like, if you don't have to give up 80 first-round picks, like, yeah, the salary is an issue, but, like, there's not really any, like, superstars out there next year. I think that deal, you basically get 2 wing players that can play multiple positions and do multiple things. The fact that you keep both first-round picks kind of makes you be able to swallow the Gordon Hayward contract if he's unhealthy. Worst case, if he is unhealthy and he can't play, then you still have Kelly Oubre, and you'd still have Terry Rozier. So you still get that big wing that could be your 3-and-D guy. But if everyone is healthy, then you got 3 guys that can shoot now. So now you have like several guys that can shoot. You got several guys that can play multiple positions. Like I think that would be great. And then I saw like the Kyrie thing. So let's say for whatever reason Kyrie did want to come to the Lakers. You're probably going to have to work out a sign and trade regardless. So in that case, maybe you could flip like, maybe you could do Gordon in 2 firsts or something if you have your picks. I don't know. I'm just saying like there could be options. Sorry, I lost my place. I'm trying to find where was that? Here it is. Man, get rid of Russell Westbrook. Get rid of them. We don't need him. Bring the Heartless or somebody like that. Problem is, there's not really anything out there right now. We gotta wait. Hornets should be tanking for Victor. I agree. They should. I mean, you don't have LaMelo for probably like 4 weeks. Why not just say, hey, dude, don't rush. Take your time. You're going to have a couple setbacks. It's going to be rough. You're going to be really struggling to come back. Like, you're good. Like, and just blow everything up. Like, that's what I would do. I mean, because you're not good. And you're stuck with a lot of these guys for several years. So you're not going to be good for several years. Even if you don't, like, let's say they don't get Victor, but they get Scoot, right? Melo and Scoot would be great. You go get Henderson to pair with LaMelo. Like, you have a great young core to build around. Like, so I think regardless, they should just sort of embrace the tank. See, though, I thought the same. OKC should have won so many, but look at them now. Durant has only won 2 because of the Warriors. Move Harden, nothing, just a cancer. Russ, nothing, cancer, but Kevin Durant. But Durant is a cancer. Yeah, I mean, it was dysfunctional. They would have won at least a championship, if not 2. I think they would have won at least 2 or 3 at the very least. Those 3 guys, man, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it is a concern. But Harden was okay with being like the Ginobili role on that team. So, relax, guys. It's just preseason. Same scenarios last year. There's a big difference between last year and this year. Several big differences between last year and this year. I think Jordan doesn't want to help out LeBron, though. I'm sure he doesn't, but he's still an owner. He's got to do what's best for the team. And they were trying to trade, before the season. So, like, I don't think he's against it. Why would you do the Hornets trade? None of them players fix the glaring issues. They all do. Our biggest glaring issue is shooting and wing defense, which they have Gordon Hayward and Kelly Oubre, who can both shoot and both play defense on the perimeter. So you get 2 guys there. You could even start them both if you wanted to. Like, you could literally have a starting 5 of like Rozier, Hayward, Oubre, LeBron, and Davis, and you have basically everything. You have defense. You have everything. The Hornets trade is better than the Pacers deal, by far. If you can make it work. They don't need to trade to tank. They don't. They really don't. They don't. Trade LeBron for Kyrie. All right. You don't help the Hornets or anyone else get Victor Wembanyama unless they are giving you draft picks. I can understand that. But, I mean, if you could keep both picks, I think if you're the Lakers, I think you got to do it. I do. I really think you do. Because there's also no guarantee the Hornets get Victor. You know what I mean? They only, even if they have the worst record in the league, they only have a 14% chance of getting them. So I think if you're the Lakers, you're not worried about that. You're not worried about it until you have to worry about it. Someone's getting Wembanyama and it's not the Lakers. Yeah, definitely. Imagine the Mavs tank and get Victor to pair with Luka. Dude, like, look at the whole Tim Duncan thing, right? You had you have a couple injuries. Your superstar's out. You end up the ball ends up landing in your court. Like, you never know. Make them give you their 2024 first unprotected for rest of expiry. Hey, if they would do that, let's do that. I'm all for that. Is the new James Inez. Good night, brother. Thank you. I will be tuning in and comments. Excuse me. Sometimes I'm a very emotional Laker fan since 1975. I'm old school and I cuss a lot. No problem. Only thing about that, I don't care if you cuss in comments and stuff like that, but YouTube, depending on how much you cuss, depending on what you say and how you phrase it, won't actually give me, like, it holds them. And, like, I never check the holded comments because I have so many comments. So if you can, I'm sure it's hard at times. I get it, passion. But if you can, at least try to keep it in the comments. If it's something that you really want me to respond to, try to keep the cursing out of it, because YouTube's just, they flag those comments, and then it goes to like held comments, and then it gets held for like 30 days or whatever. But like I said, I never check those comments because I get so many comments and I try to respond to all of them that it's literally impossible. So just an idea if you want conversations, because I love to have the conversations as much as possible. I try to respond to everyone at least once if I can. It's hard to have a real conversation in the comment section, which is why else I do these live streams, because it's just so much easier to have real conversations with people because I can do it in real time. Just because I get so many comments between all the videos and stuff like that, like it's hard for me to respond to somebody more than once. But I try to get to everyone at least once. Also, good night. Sorry, I don't know if I said that, but good night. Thank you. I can't believe next game is opening night. This offseason felt like an eternity while it was happening. But once it's finished, it's like it went in a blink of eye. I agree. We're going to be here before we know it. Why the Lakers get doinked by the Canes? Preseason. No big deal. Take for victory, if only. How many picks would the Lakers be giving up in a hypothetical Hornets trade? I don't think they'd give up any. And if they did give up one, it would be a heavily protected, like top 15 protected deal. I really do. Just because I don't think. It's got to be it's got to be a top 15 protected at the least. But I think realistically, you don't give any. I don't think you give up any. Again, that's just me personally. Or you at least try not to. Yeah, none. Yeah, none. Because you're doing so much for the Hornets. You're literally giving them the best chance to go get Victor. You're taking on all that long-term side. Now, if you could get PJ Washington, then I think you'd have to give up a pick. But if it's like Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, and Gordon Hayward, you don't give up any of your picks. So that's it just depends on what the deal is. But if you get PJ Washington, I think you could justify giving up like a protected first, because you're like, PJ Washington's young enough. He's still a valuable trade chip. You could make that work. All three younger, they run, they defend, and they shoot. That's why Russ don't do none of those. Yeah, very true. Hopefully, we will have all hands on deck on the game except for Troy Brown. I hope so too. I really do. Yes, that's right. Like, share, subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We're at 4875. I would love to get to 4,900 by like the end of the night. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if you're not subscribe to the channel. I still got to do my, which I'm going to wrap up this stream here in a moment, because I got to do my actual video breakdown of the game. So look forward to that. Watch that video too. I really appreciate it. Yes, Pelicans owner pick. Well, it's a swap. So yeah, if we had the worst pick, if I'm not mistaken, it's a swap. This year's swap? Yeah, this year's swap. So yeah, if we did have a worse record than them, then they'll just swap the pick. Got you. Good night. Go Lakers. Yes, go Lakers. Facts. Not very optimistic about the season, but I'm still hopeful. That's all we can be, is hopeful. But anyway, I'm going to skate on out of here, everyone. Thank you so much. Got a little work to do. Got to get a couple videos up and then a couple scheduled for tomorrow. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me. Seriously, you all very awesome. I appreciate you very, very mucho. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Tuesday's big day. Cannot wait. And we'll definitely do a post-game video for that. Might even do like a pre-game live stream. But we'll see. But anyway, again, appreciate you guys. See you all in the next one. Have a good one.